Bump. Hello, everyone.
We're on the internet.
Welcome to the Nerd Ledger. You can tell we just started because we're already lagging. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
Yep.
I did lag. My camera lagged, but it's fine now, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, welcome. We are the Nerd Ledger. We're the nerds. I'm Cage. That's Chair. We're here all the time, every week, once a week,
Right here.
Wednesday,
Yep.
5
Every
p.m. Pacific time this week.
5-ish to 6-ish most of the time.
Yeah, we've been doing 5:30, but it's just us again today. So we're
Uh,
doing five because you got your pay thing, right?
Player versus player event. Yes, sir. I just upgraded to I had a Z95, which is a ship you don't know about, but like it's like a starter PvP ship, and with some help from the people been playing with my guild for probably about 2 months now. What the leader gave me some good starter parts, and now I'm upgraded to an X-wing, and I've got two guns instead of just one. I've got a bigger engine in it and better shields and better armor. So, moving up in the world, that's good.
That is certainly good. Yeah, and you're coughing because you said you just got sick or you've been sick this week.
Yeah, I've been sick starting last Wednesday. I started coughing pretty bad, and then Thursday and Friday the coughing got worse. Saturday and Sunday I was just out like a light. Like I couldn't even play video games. I was so miserable. I would just go take naps in the middle of the day. Monday, I started feeling a better. Tuesday, I was doing okay. Wednesday, I'm feeling a lot better today though. So hopefully tomorrow I can finally go to the office because I am going a little stir crazy sitting in the house all day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
haven't walked my dog. I haven't walked my dog at all, so she hates that. Just haven't
Ooh,
been doing the things that I usually do. Um,
yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
so
Bro, when I'm sick, I don't change anything to be honest, and then I get yelled at for doing things like you shouldn't go out because you might get people sick. Oh, you shouldn't go walk the dog because then you'll get sick more. And well, whatever, I'll go to work. Well, if they think I'm too sick, they'll send me home,
yeah,
or they won't. But
yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's it's not a lot of people coming to my office. But the problem is like I've been waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning coughing, and like when I don't get my sleep,
yeah,
I just get
shit.
all fucked and like in the head. Like I just say weird shit, and I get angry really really quick. So like that's it's no
Well, yeah,
good when I
that can be
lack of sleep.
dangerous.
Yeah, so especially in a customer service job like real estate. So
Yeah. Like when I don't get much sleep, it just kind of like exacerbates my already weird shit. So
mm,
like I make a lot of noises. Like I feel like
mm,
I have been unofficially and um unethically diagnosed with
mm.
ADHD. Um which I don't think is true. But like I make a lot of noises and like if I listen to music, I like drum a lot and like you know I say bop and bip a lot, and shit, and it can be annoying. And then when I don't get much sleep, I do it even more. I think so.
Yeah, my problem is just I get really angry when I don't get enough sleep. So
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty dangerous. So,
yep.
but yeah, I guess some house cleaning things first. First of all, I have an update on my car again. And second of all, just so people don't think some weird shit is going on, okay? Phoenix had joined us for a couple podcasts,
Mm,
which is cool. Like, she's great, but she's got a lot of stuff going on in her personal life. Like she's a busy person, so she probably won't be joining us again for a little bit.
mm,
And even then, even on top of that, I think she wants to kind of do her own thing at some point, do her own podcast, and so I might help her with that in some way or another, whether it gets like launched here as an additional thing until she wants to fully commit to it, or if it's her own thing, I'll help her with it. So
mm.
I think that's her ultimate goal. But for now, she's just got a lot going on, and so
Yep.
it'll probably just be us, which is fine because this is it's already us.
What we
So,
do, yeah, what we do.
but yeah, just so people like, because she was here like 2 weeks in a row, I don't want people to think, oh, like you guys totally made her permanent and now you kicked her out, or there must be some drama. Like, there's no drama. Like,
Mm,
whatever. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's chill. So, but yeah, there's that, and then yeah, I'll give the update on my car, and so I have to because not everybody listens to everything, so I'll go through the whole thing really quick.
mm,
On December 10th, I was trying to go to bed. It was like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday. I was ready for sleep, and then we heard a loud crash. Go outside. Someone's car is flipped upside down on its hood, and they have smashed into my car. Um, and so all this shit happened. Police report. I never talked to them. Didn't know if they had insurance. All this stuff. I was on the phone with my insurance till like 2 a.m. They're like, okay, I'll go through my insurance and all this shit. Right now, the most annoying shit is that we are now 1 full month later on January 10th, and work has not started on my vehicle, which is fucking annoying. Okay, this shit has been at a shop since the 15th. It's just the shop keeps going back and forth with my insurance, right? So the last update I gave, right? So okay, the estimator came out initially, first estimate 9.5K. Went to the shop came back after like 2.5 weeks, said 21K. Then my insurance pushed back, removed a whole bunch of shit from their estimate, changed the labor rates, resubmitted at 17K. I talked to the shop last Friday, and the guy said, yeah, your insurance removed a bunch of stuff that we have to put back because it needs to be replaced. And so we're resubmitting it. He said the labor change was accurate. We have a lower labor rate with them. And so they're resubmitting it for 20K, which still hasn't happened because I haven't seen that update come through. And so that was the latest until yesterday when I got a call from a different insurance company. Apparently, the people who hit me did have insurance. And they called me and just, which is annoying. They called me. I didn't answer because I was at work. I got the message. I called them back. They said they put me on hold for 10 minutes, then transferred me to another department. They said, we're not the right department. They transferred me. I was on hold for another 40 minutes, but they have this scam part of their system where like they'll just give you a call back or whatever. So I'm working, so I'm not sitting there on hold for fucking 40 minutes. So, I went back to work and then waited for them to call me back. When they called me back, they said, we're not the right department. Transferred me a fucking again. Bro, everybody kept transferring me to the wrong fucking department. All for a lady to tell me, yeah, we just wanted to call you to tell you we're accepting liability. Okay. All right, cool. Shouldn't you call my insurance to tell them that?
Yeah, usually that's how it works.
And,
Are you gonna get your 1K back?
So,
from your,
all right. So I talked to them. I gave them my adjuster's information. I gave them my Geico claim number, and then I called my insurance and gave them the other insurance company's claim number and whatever. And so they connected, and so pretty much what's going to happen. This is a guess at this point because I don't actually know, but my guess is my insurance will go forward because again I haven't heard from them since because they're not very. I'm just gonna be honest, right? Hey, adjuster guy, if you're listening, you know who I am. Hey, you're fucking useless. I'm just gonna say it. You're useless. All right, you're useless. It's a new adjuster. The original adjuster at least responded to text messages and like got back to me. This guy's fucking useless. All right. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is that my insurance will go ahead with whatever once they decide if they're going to repair it or not, which we still don't know. But now if someone else is covering it, maybe they'll go, oh, hey, fuck it, throw it all in, we'll total it, whatever, right? But whatever goes ahead, my guess is I still will have to pay the deductible and then I'll get reimbursed for it. I'm not sure if that's how it works though, because like the way the like letter is written is like, we'll pay you back, and I'm like, bruh, I haven't paid anything yet. Like, you guys still haven't even started the fucking work on the car yet. And it's really fucking annoying because I'm gonna have to rent a car soon, and that's I again, like, now that the other insurance is involved, like, will they cover everything for my rental, or will they not? Like, I don't know who's covering what's covered here, what's covered there. I have no fucking clue. So it's really annoying, and I did find out that they don't report to DMV, so I had to do that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's annoying, and it's like, I get it. Like, most people will probably be like, bro, just like call them and keep bugging them and whatever. But it's like, I like to give people time to, like, get the answers they need before I keep bugging them, right? And so I talked to the adjuster on Monday. I texted him and I was like, hey, no. Well, I texted him Friday to ask for an update. He never got back to me on Friday, but the shop called me on Friday and gave me that update that they're gonna resubmit the estimate. And then Monday he responded and he said, I'll reach out to the shop to get an update. And I said, well, they called me on Friday and gave me an update. But then he never responded to that. And then when the other insurance called me, I messaged him. I was like, hey, they called me about this and said this stuff. And they're like, well, he's like, well, call Geico and, let them know or whatever. Again, why the fuck can't he do that? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get this. Like, I have to call insurances and just be on hold forever when I have a direct contact. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I said he's useless. But, yeah, I'll my plan is to reach out again tomorrow or Friday and again ask for another update. But at this point, bro, it's like, it's absurd. It's absurd.
No, and insurance is no fun. Like, they just told my mom that she has to pay for business insurance. Now they're offering reinsurance for previous years where, like, apparently if you get sued now and, like, for something that occurred in 2022, you have to pay extra insurance for that, even though you were paying insurance that year already. So it's like, it's just getting worse and worse. So again, like, over financialization is really, like, at the core of a lot of stressors in a lot of people's lives right now, where every single aspect of your life is over financialized and there's no good customer service in any aspect of it. So it's just really shitty right now to deal with all that stuff. I did figure though that guy who, like, I know, like, it's fun to make, like, the homeless people, like, oh, they just, but it's something like that car, right? The car he was in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at some point you need to go and buy the car. Like, you don't steal. Like, it's, if you steal a car, you can't just drive around a stolen car forever. Eventually you're gonna get pulled over because of license plates, identifying marks, or anything like that, right? Especially
Right.
with the crazy ass cameras they got now. Most homeless people, and again, I have a lot of exposure to this because I worked in criminal defense for, like, 3 years. Most of them, like, just they're crashing on someone's couch, like, they have like a full-time job at, like, a fast food. What usually happens is they get their own car and then they go out into the world and start doing a bunch of drugs and stuff like that, and they start living out of their car. Like, that's how it works. And and the car still has an insurance policy on it because in California you're not supposed to let a car roll off the car sales lot until it has an active insurance policy. Like,
Oh
you'd
yeah.
get sued as a dealer. So,
Yeah.
it's just, that's why I figured that guy probably has insurance, and the
Well,
police
they,
would
I mean,
eventually find an idiot.
they give you like a week, but
Yeah. Well, and if you don't get it, they report your car, and then someone comes in and impounds it. Like,
yeah.
that's the thing, and you report it. It's really tricky these days to get out of getting insurance on your car and getting onto the road in California. Like, buying a car, like, it's really hard to not have insurance around
Yeah.
the road unless you're
Well,
just
I
like,
guess I should amend
unless you're
that. Like,
and like unless
you
yeah,
have to
unless you're in salvage.
show that you have an insurance policy currently, and you have
Yeah.
like a week to add a new car to your insurance. But if you don't
Yeah.
have a current vehicle and you don't have insurance, you do have to prove you have insurance before you leave the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's just it's hard to do stuff like that.
yeah. But anyway, here we are. Here is the. I mean, there's just. It is what it is. But Echo came out yesterday. All 5 episodes
Oh,
now streaming.
I'll need to start watching that. We're gonna talk about What If today, right?
We are, yeah. And I watched the first episode of Echo only, but it's not bad. It's kind of slow here and there. I mean, and the unfortunately, and this is the worst thing you could say about a show, but unfortunately, like, the best parts are Kingpin and Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, that's what I figured because William
So
Dafoe and the guy who plays Daredevil are
no,
great actors, especially William
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe is great, but he doesn't play
Yeah.
Kingpin.
Oh, wait, is he not?
Vincent
Oh, okay,
D'Onofrio plays Kingpin. Willem Dafoe plays Green
Oh, that's
Goblin.
right. Oh, I'm so confused. I'm sorry. Vincent
Sorry.
D'Onofrio or whatever. Sorry, I kept thinking. I saw a lot of William Dafoe posts today. Yeah, but Vincent D'Onofrio, and he was really good in frickin' he was in that Stanley Kubrick movie, right? He was
I don't know.
yeah.
But
But anyway, he's a
great
really
as
good act.
Kingpin.
He was really good. And that first season of Daredevil was really good because of Charlie Cox and because of him.
Yeah,
So
Charlie
Vincent,
Cox is great.
So
Fucking love that guy.
yep, yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely down to check it out, and we'll probably talk about it next week, huh?
Yeah, at some point for sure. But yeah, we'll talk about What If today, and then there actually has been some nerd news recently, which is cool. So we'll go over some of that. Hold on. Let me just get some up. I'm not gonna put it on my computer because I don't want my computer to lag to shit. So, um, you know, that happens. I really need a new computer. The problem is I'm poor. So,
Nah.
yeah. Here we go. Some news. So, this actually just broke today. Uh, there's going to be a Star Trek prequel film. It's in development at Paramount, and the director of Andor is attached to it, which is interesting, I suppose. Also, there have been some actresses who are screen testing for Supergirl. I don't care to go into that any more than that. It's official now. It's official now. I thought it was always official, but apparently now it's even more official that the Netflix Marvel series are canon in the MCU. I mean, they always were when they first appeared on Netflix. Like they clearly integrated them into the universe. But now it's official, and even on Disney Plus, like they're part of the timeline in the MCU. So that's good to see that it's finally, like, I guess, official. The big news, the biggest pieces of news are that there's a new Star Wars movie that was announced that's going to be called The Mandalorian and Grogu. So
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that on my Instagram feed. I
yep.
thought this is like already known though that they were getting their own movie.
Well, it was announced that Dave Filoni is doing a movie, but this isn't that movie.
Okay.
This is a different movie. Jon Favreau is going to direct it, and then they've also said that season 4 of The Mandalorian is still going to happen. But this is, I guess, priority. It goes into development or starts filming later this year. So that'll be interesting. I kind of hate the name, to be honest, but it is what it is. And then on top of that, Disney announced that Ahsoka season 2 has began development. So that's, I mean, I think we expected either a season 2 or it to roll into the movie kind of thing. But it's confirmed now that Ahsoka will have a season 2, and I think we kind of know where that's going for the most part. But hopefully there's some surprises in there. So that's like the big news. I did mention last week that, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that Steven Yeun, he was attached to play Sentry in Thunderbolts, and he has dropped out. And again, it's not like a big thing. It's not like he fell out with Marvel or anything. It's just that he had scheduling conflicts, so he dropped out, and he said he would love to come back and play another Marvel character if he can. So, yeah. Other than that, what else? Don't care about that. Bunch of nothing, to be honest. Let me just go through the ones I saved and make sure I didn't miss anything. Bop. New Star Trek movie. Star Wars shit. Okay. Oh, yeah. Not really news, but people are real mad about the Rey movie. Because the director who's attached to it said something about, like, it's about time a woman gets to helm a movie that takes place in a galaxy far, far away, and people were real mad about that shit. And like,
Well, I think she also said she would make the movie that men would. She said she was going to make a movie men wouldn't like. So I think that
yeah,
was.
I don't know if it was a quote about the movie or a quote that she said in the past. Honestly, I didn't do any research on this because I really don't give a fuck. But yeah, what something people are mad about is apparently she said she likes to make men uncomfortable or something, or she wants to make a movie that makes men uncomfortable. And like, again, I don't really see a problem with that. Like, I get it. Like, it's gonna piss people off. And like, she's obviously doing it to piss people off, but like at the same time, like, bro, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to question your way of thinking and change it if you think it's wrong or whatever. Like, there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. We grow as people when we're uncomfortable. Obviously that's not how people take it. People just take it as like she just hates men or whatever, blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. So That was that.
Yeah, just make a movie that make a movie that like people want to watch. That's important
Yeah,
too.
just make a
Like an
movie with
important
a
part
good
of
story, and
yeah.
if it has
That's like
feminism or
my
whatever in it, who fucking cares? As long as it's good.
yeah. As long as it's good, exactly. Like fuck, dude. Like it shouldn't be this hard. So yeah, just make a good movie. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say on that. Like that was my first reaction. Was like, okay, are you gonna make like a bad? Are you gonna make an intentionally bad movie?
Yeah, because
Like
I mean, if you're gonna make an intentionally bad movie to piss people off, like, of
yeah,
course, it's gonna piss people off. Like, uh,
yeah. Like
okay, so, well, that's all the news. Again, I don't give a shit. So we'll transition
is
now. We'll
there
talk
is there
about
any other news?
not really,
Anything?
not really,
No.
nothing of
Just
interest that much. I mean, if I missed anything, I'll bring it up again
yeah.
sometime in a future podcast. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk about What If season two, Marvel animated show on Disney Plus. And we'll kind of just like go through the episodes one by one, I guess, and then talk about overall how we feel about it. I don't know. Do you think that's the best way to do it, or you think there's a better way to do it?
Yeah, just talk about each episode if I can remember them. To be honest, there were a lot of episodes. Like I
Yeah, no,
skipped the
I'll
Christmas.
go through all of them. So
Yeah,
I'll
I
jog your
skipped the
memory.
Christmas. I skipped the Christmas episode, so we can just skip that entirely. Because I saw like Happy Hogan saves Christmas, and I was like, okay, I don't want to fucking watch this. It's not Christmas anymore. I don't know who Happy Hogan is. So,
Wait, you don't? It's John Favreau's character.
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was figured. It was that guy, but it was like, you mean the side character that follows Tony Stark around? No.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Was
He
that
also played
episode really
Foggy
good?
Nelson in 2003's Daredevil.
Was that episode really good, or should I go back and?
It was not very good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was bored, to be honest. But
John Favreau also played John Favreau in The Sopranos.
all right.
In case you didn't know that. Like literally he
Uh,
played as himself, like talking about like living the gangster. It was really funny.
Also, this reminds me, since we're talking about What If, there was other news. What If season three has been announced, and the showrunner is not staying on from season two. So it's a new
Hmm.
showrunner.
Okay.
Take that for what you will. Okay, so
And then
episode.
I have more words too if we can fit in the time after, I do got to go right at 6 because but if yeah, for like
Yeah,
I went back and watched the last couple of episodes of season 1 and I forgot like they were pretty enjoyable. But
yeah,
it's also because of the crazy over the top action. So maybe it's my simple child brain being entertained. But anyway, we can talk about let's go into the
yeah,
episodes.
yeah. Okay, so episode one of season two is What If Nebula joined the Nova Corps? And to be honest, people were raving about this episode. It's Blade Runner 2049 meets Marvel, bro. This episode was boring as
Boring.
fuck.
Yeah. I don't remember anything that happened other
Uh,
than she got Yondu's little arrow crown at some point, and then like, it was just Nebula like trying not to be a complete and total bitch the entire time, trying to be
listen,
nice, and
I like Nova as a character. Where the fuck is he? I
yeah.
don't like I don't necessarily care about Nebula that much. I don't care about the Nova Corps. The most interesting part of the episode was fucking Howard the Duck, which
Yeah, I
says a
forgot he was
lot.
in there. Yeah.
The story
He was
is
in there a lot, wasn't he too? Like he was their partner or something. That's
yeah.
right.
And you're like it was
Yeah. He
running
was
like
voiced by
a
Seth Green. He
casino
was voiced by
bar
Seth
thing.
Green.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Great.
And so, but again, like for me, it's the concept. It's not that interesting of a concept. Like,
Mm.
why do I care if Nebula joined the Nova Corps and what
Yeah.
happens based off that?
Yeah, like the crazy over the top stuff or just making it super interesting, is like the good part about the what if. So,
Yeah.
and so I don't have much else to say about this episode, to be
No.
honest with you. I don't remember most of it.
Yeah. Episode two is what if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? And I read the episode titles before I watched the show, and when I read that, I
Mm,
was like, bro, that's a stupid concept. Also, when I actually
mm,
watched the episode, I think it was a better concept because it's like him as a child, like as Ego's kid, like he was actually returned to Ego and then came back. Like
yeah,
that makes more sense. Like I'm thinking like adult Peter Quill that we know, shows up and like attacks it. Like it doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
So to me, this episode actually wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I like the '80s Avengers kind of thing. It was definitely much more enjoyable than episode one, which is maybe why I enjoyed it. But again, it wasn't like the best episode ever. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't insane. It was good to me.
yeah. Yeah, no, I watched it. To me, it really, I don't know why, but I couldn't shake the feeling like I was watching one of those DVD, like straight to DVD Marvel movies that from like the early 2000s and stuff like that with the really shitty 3D. Like it was just so campy. Like, is my
Yeah,
is
but the
my main
animation
problem.
is
Is
still
like,
really good. Like,
yeah, it was okay in this episode. I didn't
yeah,
really think it was like mind-bogglingly amazing. And again, like, maybe you got more out of it because they had heroes that I just didn't know about, like the guy that would like upgrade his suit to huge and stuff like
yeah,
that. And
Goliath. I love Bill
yeah,
Foster. I think he's great.
yeah.
He actually
So
I mean, people who read
some of
comics
the
know this,
action,
but
some of the action was cool, but I just don't like when they get hit when they get hit and then they get up and say the cheesy one-liner and then get back into the action. Like that happened a couple times. I was like, ugh.
yeah. And you know what though? Like, I think people who really like Peggy Carter will love
Mm,
this series
yeah,
because a lot of it revolves so much around Peggy. So,
yeah.
episode 3 is what if Iron Man crashed into the Grand Master? To me, again, a pretty boring concept.
Yeah.
It was cool to go back to Sakaar and see all these characters or whatever, and like the like Mad Max kind of shit, right? Like,
Yes, this is the first episode I really like, and I genuinely enjoyed this because I just think Robert Downey Jr. and frickin' who's the guy that plays the Master?
Jeff Goldblum.
Super famous. Jeff Goldblum have really great chemistry. I think is the most important thing here.
Yeah.
It is Robert Downey Jr. voicing him, right? Voicing Iron Man, like it's all the
No, it's a
original.
guy named
No, it's
Mike
not.
Wingert.
Oh, it sounds just like him. Damn, I was convinced it sounded just like him too. That's
Yeah,
well,
for the most part, they get the actors back. I mean, Jeff Goldblum came back. Tessa Thompson was Valkyrie. Taika Waititi,
yep,
played all his characters. Josh Brolin
but
even voiced Thanos.
yep,
But no, even Gamora wasn't. It wasn't Zoe Saldana. It was somebody called Cynthia McWilliams.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember her voice not being the same when I went back and watched the other season of What If. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I just thought it had really good comedy. The jokes really, because again, that whole planet like is just so grim and dark, but like in a funny corporate doom kind of way. I don't know. It was just really entertaining. It's probably the best way I can put it.
yeah,
Like in the concept and the race, like you said, Mad Max. I'm always down for like dumb vehicle action. I just enjoyed every part about it.
yeah. And then episode 5 was what if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper, which is pretty much just like Winter Soldier all over again. Um,
Uh,
and again, it's not a very interesting concept, but it does introduce this theme and this undertow between Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter, obviously, and like they don't really get their happy ending ever, kind of thing, even when they think they're going to. And
yeah,
I think that plays out well through the rest of the season. Um, and honestly, it's probably one of like the best parts of the season, in my opinion.
yep,
But this episode again just isn't that interesting to me.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was okay. Like it was cool. Like the Red Room and stuff. Like that's all the stuff from the Scarlet Wit, the Scar not Scarlet
from
Witch,
Black Widow, yeah. So
from Black Widow,
it's like a
right?
mixture of Black Widow and Winter Soldier like together as a
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
And then
And the
yeah,
Winter, it
obviously
was cool seeing the Winter Soldier, like how Peggy knew who she was and stuff like that. And so that was dope.
yeah, but also like it's kind of weird that Bucky Barnes is like a U.S. senator.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, but yeah, I mean, again, great cast. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is back as Nick Fury. Haley Atwell is Captain Carter. It's not Scarlett Johansson. It's someone called Lake Bell as Black Widow.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. I thought that was Scarlett Johansson too, because she sounds just fucking like her. Well, I guess it's magic of voice acting, baby.
yeah, Frank Grillo is back as Rumlow.
Mm,
Josh Keaton is the voice of Steve Rogers, not a Chris Evans.
mm.
Sebastian Stan, obviously, he's still Bucky Barnes. Rachel Weisz came back as Melinda, or Melina, sorry, and you can tell because holy shit, what a terrible Russian accent.
Yep.
And Elizabeth Olsen at the end of the episode is Wanda, but in this, it's she pulls Peggy into 1602, and
Yeah, which leads right into the next episode.
well, it doesn't,
Oh, that's right. This is
unfortunately.
what's the middle one?
Uh,
Forgot.
actually, I did. Wait, did I skip? Oh, I did. So episode 3 was "What if Happy Hogan Saved Christmas." I skipped it because you
Oh, that's
skipped
right.
it.
Yeah, because I
Um,
didn't watch that episode.
but yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is back, and
Oh,
Kat
so now
Dennings.
we're on to 1602. We're on to 1602 now.
No, we're not.
Oh,
We're not.
what episode are we on?
We're on Kahori.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot all about Gory, and I really love this episode too because they spoke the native tongue, and I thought that was really
Yeah, I thought that
badass.
was gonna. I thought if you were not invested yet, you would just be bored and wouldn't care to read it.
Mm,
But yeah, like there's only English at the very end of the episode when Doctor Strange shows up.
yeah.
Everything else is either in Mohawk
Mm,
or Spanish.
yeah. Which I thought
Um,
was awesome. They did Mohawk, like the native tongue of America. Like that must have been really really hard to pull off. So
yeah, but I love the episode. And
yeah, I did too.
Corey is a new original character created just for this series.
Oh
And I fucking love Kahori. Not
yeah,
just
she's
because of
awesome.
this episode, but like because when she returns in the finale as well.
Yep.
And you sent me an article which I didn't open, or like a Reddit post which I didn't open, but
Yeah.
you were like, oh, this could be an interesting concept like to talk about for the podcast, like how comics have been affected by the MCU,
Hmm.
um, and
Yeah. Do
stuff
you
like
think
that.
Kahori will get her own run if she continues to be
Kahori will
popular?
be 1,000,000% brought into comics the same way that
Hmm.
Harley Quinn was created in the Batman animated series and was brought into comics. Like she
Mm.
wasn't a
I
she
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. She wasn't an original comic book character. She was an original Bruce Timm character created for the animated series.
Mm. Well, the anime
So,
series is really good though, so
well,
there's
yeah.
that too. And
Uh,
this episode is really good. And Kahori's a badass. Like she runs really fast. Like her powers are kind of Mary Sue. Like she just seems like she can do whatever she wants in the moment because she's powerful, which is fine. Like that's how most powers work anyway. But aside from that, like just good
well, they get the
progression, good
powers
pacing of the episode.
from the
The
Tesseract.
Westic water. Yeah, the Tesseract.
Right.
But she can like hold things in place. Like it's a space stone, right? So theoretically she should only be able to teleport, right? That's how that works. Like she wouldn't be
Um,
able to like manipulate things in space like she does, like levitation and run super fast, like all that other stuff. So, it's a
kind
little
of.
rant. It's a little random, but I that didn't kill the episode for me. Like I really did enjoy this episode. Like my favorite part was too is like when they were climbing that tree and she was trying to get to the portal and he's like, yeah, the closest anyone's ever gotten is 17 steps. And the hunt was cool and yeah.
Yo, hey, we got a chatter.
Oh
TV6. Hey, yo. Oh, also, I know who this is, by the way.
no.
This is my friend who is like a pen pal, because like
Mm,
remember back in the olden days where you couldn't go on the internet, and if you wanted to talk to a friend who lived far away, you send him a letter.
no.
So he's like that. Like when I text him, I have to wait like 4 to 6 business weeks to get an email back or a message back. Um,
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, what's
Yeah, I
up?
have
What's
email
up?
pen pals, but I don't have any regular pen pals these days.
Yeah. Sir, Mister TV, sir? Did you watch What If? Are you a fan of Kahori? Because I am. I'm a
Yeah.
fan. Um.
Gonna get a first edition first run? You gonna get it? Be there first in line?
Uh.
You
Yeah,
gonna
if
learn
they
how to
put it
speak
out, bro,
Mohawk
because
so
it'll
you
be
can
worth
read
money.
the
What the
Mohawk
fuck,
edition?
bro? I will
Yeah.
buy as many as I can. What the fuck, bro? When
No.
when when Miss Marvel took off, like in
Mm,
2014, I bought I bought second, third, fourth printings of it that are worth like 20, 30, $40 now. Like that,
yeah.
if a character gets popular, all their print runs are worth money. Like that's just kind of how it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, um, and even like if you don't expect it to like go higher, there's lag, bro. Is it my lag? I have zero dropped frames. I have zero dropped frames. He said bad stutter, intermittent lag. All right. Can hold on. I have the stream up. I'll listen to it. Don't worry. You know what else I can do? I can
Actually, this sounds good on my end. Sounds really good on my end. It's actually the best I've ever heard this stream.
yeah, it doesn't sound bad. Yeah.
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 Well, it could also be like someone else's like their own
Yeah, it could
their own
be
board
it could
bit
be
rate and stuff.
yeah. But also well, I disconnected my phone from the Wi-Fi just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Cuz I run the stream separate so I can listen to it if I need to. But yeah, it sounded fine. It sounded fine. Uh I'm on mobile data, so could be me. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Mobile can be shit sometimes, but
Yeah, especially if you're streaming Twitch. I've had issues with that
yeah,
before.
yeah. Streaming on Twitch is fucking trash sometimes. Like it just like
Yeah.
lags for no reason.
Yeah,
Because
ever
there's
since they
This is really
change
boring.
those rules.
I'm sorry,
Oh, go
guys. This
ahead.
is really boring, but you get bottlenecked by Twitch. Like they only have certain like output speeds, and especially for me who has like 18 Twitch followers, I'm not partnered, I'm not affiliated or anything. Like, bro, they don't give a shit about me. They're not giving me like great frame rates and shit. They don't give a fuck, you know.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's probably that. But I appreciate you tuning in, and if you have questions
Yeah.
or input, hey, put it in the chat, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Drop into the chat.
but yeah, I really enjoyed the Corey episode, and even that when she showed up at the Queen's court in Queen Isabella in Spain, she spoke
Yep.
Spanish, which I think is another
Fun little.
kind of advantage that came from the Tesseract or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe. I just think it was, thematic, and I don't know. At the end of the day, like this episode is really good, and I don't have any complaints at all. Again, like aside from the fact, like it just seems like for the space stone powers, it seems like they're all over the place and not related to space at all. But you could say, oh, they're manipulating space so they can run faster, and they're manipulating space so they can, levitate things. So it's whatever.
yeah. But yeah, and then Strange Supreme shows up at the end with
Mm,
a portal, and he's like, "Hey, come with me, Corey," and shit.
mm.
Um,
Save the world.
yeah, and then so
So, okay, so
episodes,
Doctor Strange is voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, right? Because it
absolutely,
sounds
yeah,
just like okay, good.
yeah,
Because it
yeah,
sounds just
yeah,
like him. And I was gonna be really surprised if it was like a voice actor.
yeah. And then episode 7, which I also found to be a pretty decent episode, is what if Hela found the 10 rings?
That's right. I like this episode. I actually really like this episode too
Yeah,
because they became like became like a champion of peace or whatever. Stop being a piece of shit.
yeah, yeah, and also Kate Blanchett is voicing Hela, so you can't go
Hmm.
wrong with that.
Nope.
Um, so yeah, I thought that was a very enjoyable episode, a great like a better concept. And
Yep.
then
And then the
episode
showdown between like it's weird how like Thor and Odin like switched positions, and how like Odin was the one that needed to be talked down from being a warmonger and stuff
well, I
and all
mean,
that.
Odin was always a warmonger, but
Yeah, well.
he did cast out Hela instead of Thor, right? And so
Yeah.
kind of like they take like concepts you're familiar with and then change little things, and like that can be cool, but also like it can just be boring in other ways, because it's not like wholly. I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not the best person to judge because I'm not a huge fan of What If in comics either.
Mm,
Like, I've read obviously the classic, the first What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four.
mm,
But other than that, like, I don't necessarily care about What If stories.
yeah.
But a lot of people do. So, uh, but this is episode 8 is an Elseworlds kind of story that in comics I do like because I was a big fan of the Fantastic Four version of 1602. And so, yeah, episode 8 is what if the Avengers assembled in
So,
1602.
so you said this is an actual comic book run, right? This
There's
is
a
the
run, there's an event called 1602, yes. And
okay.
obviously there are tie ins, and one of the tie ins I enjoyed was the Fantastic Four tie-in, mostly because
Mm,
of the cover art of bro. Just like think about it, Doctor Doom in 1602. Come on,
yeah, yeah, it would be really badass. You
just
would have
cool.
like an Iron Maiden mask on or something like that, probably.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah, I
just
know.
sick.
I enjoyed it. I liked Thor and Loki being like a drama queen and stuff like that, and I just really
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
there's
and
anything here that I
obviously
hated.
it's a great cast. Like they got all the voice actors aside from the fucking what's his name, Chris Evans, that guy.
Chris
He's in,
Evans, yeah, and
but
they
but
got
well,
Tom
Chris Evans
Hiddleston.
isn't here, but almost,
No,
and Mike Winger is still Tony
sounds
Stark.
just sounds just like him. Sounds like just like all of them, dude. Like that's the thing. Like they do a really good job making them sound like them.
Yeah. Yep. So I really like 1602, and then the last episode is what if Strange Supreme intervened.
Mm,
And here we see we see a lot. This episode is jam packed full of action and characters. And again,
yep.
one of my favorite things is still like this underlying thing that like Peggy and Steve won't get their happy ending, but it's because they make the choices they need to make for the better of everybody. Um,
Yeah.
I look, I get that they fully explain it, and to some people it maybe makes sense, but to me it doesn't make that much sense that this motherfucker is that obsessed with recreating a world with Christine in it.
Yeah, his motivations were a little strange. I wish they would have just made him straight up evil, but because he looks really cool. He really does.
Yeah, yeah.
In this
And they like all the
Strange
like
Supreme.
they pretty much become like all powerful and shit, and like
Yeah.
all this
So
crazy
like the
shit's
premise
happening.
is that Strange is like capturing a bunch of world-ending, powerful like villains from all across the multiverse, and he's gonna feed them into this machine to remake his world. Like you don't know that until like after, but Peggy goes like to fight because Doctor Strange brings Peggy into like Captain Carter into like his little abode, and he's like, "I need your help fighting a monster," and the monster is Kahori because Kahori probably learned what he was trying to do and tried to stop him because she's a good person. And then like Peggy is also has this good intuition, so she stands like eventually like he's trying to encapture Kahori and he fails because Peggy intervenes. And they're running. Then Peggy unleashes all these villains, and I'm sure this was a treat for you because there's a bunch of people there I didn't know, but I'm sure you saw tons of people you recognize. Like I saw like the evil Rocket, probably like world-ending Rocket. I don't know if there was like a comic book for that, and
I mean, I don't
just
view
a
any of these people as world ending, but
mm,
like they're just you know
villains,
powerful variants of characters we're familiar with,
yeah,
for the most part, right? Like, and and honestly, like, yeah, all this crazy stuff is happening, and Wanda, not Wanda, fucking Captain Carter gets like the Infinity suit and shit,
yeah.
and like,
That's hella funny too. Like, so Killmonger shows up and then Kahori teleports him out of his suit that he's in, and he
yeah,
like just drops him naked into like this like fighting area, and then he has to go fight, and it's pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Because all the
really
villains, all the villains are fighting each other for some reason. Um,
well, I mean,
yeah,
because
and
they're all that's
they're
their
all
whole
evil.
yeah. I mean, none of them are
And
fighting Strange for some reason, but they're all fighting each other.
yep, yep.
So, um, oh, hold on. Okay.
You
Anyway,
know the chatter?
no, no, no,
Nope.
no. Like on the chat, there's like a pencil, and then there's a camera, and I was like, wait, can like is the feature to like there's like a Twitch has like a feature where you can like call or like have chatters join a call, but
Mm,
I don't think I have it because I'm me. But yeah. So my favorite part of the episode is actually when like when Strange does um the facade of
mm,
Steve becoming Captain America, like
yep.
from the first Avenger, and Peggy kind of
Peggy
like
Dexum.
yeah. Peggy sees through it and like whatever, but like the just the moment between Peggy and Steve is very nice, It's very nice, and
Yep.
obviously it's sad because she knows like she can't have her happy ending, but that's not her purpose. Her purpose is to
Yeah.
defend the
The Watcher
multiverse
was
or
the
something.
Watcher was really good in this season too. I noticed like in those couple of episodes, like how detached he is and how like that guy who voices the Watcher is really good at just delivering like these detached lines that are yet so wise, but also like very detached from like everything going on.
Yeah, that's
So
Jeffrey
props
Wright,
to
who also plays Commissioner Gordon in The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Ooh, wow, awesome.
Yeah, like I know stuff. I know stuff.
Yeah, yeah, good for you.
But yeah, I actually I really enjoyed the last two episodes,
Mhm.
and the Corey episode, and that's mostly it. Um,
Yeah. I really like the Death Race episode. I didn't really
yeah,
1602 was cool. I didn't think it was like very exciting. I don't know. I thought it was a little quirky and cheesy at some
oh
points
yeah,
and like
absolutely.
but aside from that though, I really just they're this the primary thing I enjoy is the Death Race and then the last two episodes. And then yeah. And then like too like there was another thing that happened like when they're fighting over this forge thing that Strange is literally dumping these all the villains into, and it's funny because they go up and they go down and they go up and they go down a few times, and it's hard to tell if they get like dumped into the thing or not. And I thought that was kind of dumb. Where they keep
Well,
falling and they keep falling, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, that does
That
happen.
was kind of that was kind of silly. But also like they were throwing all their weapons at them, and I thought that was pretty funny how like they're just piling up around them with all these super powered weapons from like all of Marvel lore. Are there any weapons there that aren't like from the MCU that you recognize, or was it all just random shit?
Honestly, I wasn't
Like,
paying that close of attention to try to identify
uh,
them, but
okay.
I'm sure there were
Come
some.
on, you're the comic book guy. You got to give people the in-depth look, man. You got to say, oh, that's from Captain Marvel 352, page 19, panel 26.
No,
Like,
no, no.
Yeah, that's all good. Um, but aside from that, like they just beat up Strange, and then Strange exploded, and he sacrificed himself. Like he went down into his own forge, and like all the monsters that he consumed birthed into a new universe, I guess. And then
Yeah,
yep,
and that universe did have Christine, but without him because he died.
because he's dead. He
So I guess
sacrificed
he
himself
achieved
to
his goal. And then at the very, very, very end, we see the World Tree.
yeah. Because Peggy. So
Idrisil.
what happens is like Peggy's like depressed because she knows she's not gonna get. She know like you've been saying like they're not gonna get the happy ending.
Yeah,
So the Watcher's like, all right, I'm gonna take you back to your own time because I'm like a nice guy, but like I only intervene when it's absolutely necessary. Um, and yeah, Peggy's like, well, can you show me something like she says something to everybody's like, can you show me something really, really, really cool in the multiverse first? And he's like, of course I can. Come with me. And then like we see the World Tree from Loki. You're right. And I was like, oh wow, I guess the MCU universe is the most interesting of all of them, I
yeah,
guess.
yep. Oh, also, um, on that note, so on the note of what if, I didn't read the article, but I'm gonna give you my most educated guess of what it was about,
Mm,
because I'm pretty sure I know. And the article was titled something like "What if showrunner or director explains why the X-Men aren't in it" or something.
mm,
And then the head like that was the headline, and then the site that posted it, their caption was, "Their time should be coming soon" or something like that. And I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that there was a clause in the contract of the actors who signed on for the X-Men movie that they can't be used, like their characters can't be used in any other media, or they can't reprise their roles for like 5 years or something,
Mm,
or more, right? And so like you think about like Dark Phoenix came out in 2018, so like there's something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it has to do with,
yeah.
and it could be in the contract too, where when Marvel bought Fox, like they can't, like they have to wait a certain amount of time before they can integrate certain characters. I mean, people can say,
Mm,
"Oh, yeah, but Professor X was in Doctor Strange and this and that," but like, Patrick Stewart hasn't been in X-Men or in an X-Men movie for a long time, right? So,
mm.
um, I think that's what it is, but who knows? Who knows? Who actually knows? But yeah, their time will come, guys. Their time will come. We'll get the X. I mean, bro, we got Deadpool coming in July. Okay, all right, and that'll have a bunch of X-Men in it, and it'll be fucking sick, or it'll be bad. Who knows?
Yep.
But overall, like,
So overall, my thoughts, like, it was definitely this seems to be a constant theme with Disney. This is what Disney Plus. This is what I want to say. Like, good first season, kind of semi weaker second season, but isn't bad. So we'll see what they can pump out, like, with the third season.
even season one, I felt was lackluster. Like it ended well,
Yeah,
but
that was the
like,
main thing for redeeming is just like the ending. Well, oh, I forgot to bring this up too. Way back when we did the review, like I thought it was funny because I was watching this again, and Doctor Strange gives them literal plot armor. You ever
wait,
think about like he just like yeah, he literally gives them plot armor. Like I think that's super funny. Like using his magic.
yeah, but
And just all the fights with freaking I don't know, dude. Like when you see him like bite that universe, I thought it was really cool.
yeah, I mean, just season one had its moments, and season two
Yeah.
had its moments, and both ended strong. And so I would assume season three would be something similar. It's gonna like,
Mm,
but it's a new showrunner, so I hope it'll be better, and there will be more
mm,
interesting concepts, and you can integrate more characters that like were in this season at all, like characters like Spider Man, um, certain X Men, people from the Fantastic Four,
yep.
like integrate some of these more well known characters. Like, I mean, there's other characters as well that just get like no screen time in What If for some reason. I don't know, but I think it's because they're like, well, we got these great actors, and like Tom Hiddleston coming through to do voicing, and Chris Hemsworth, and Haley Atwell is always happy to come back and be Captain Carter. So Benedict Cumberbatch, obviously, like we have these strong core. We'll just reuse these characters over and over.
Yep.
It's
We'll
like,
definitely do
well,
something else with Doctor Strange at some point. And maybe they'll bring our Loki in from like, the What If or something because they showed the World Tree at the end. Like, and he's a truly multiversal character now because he can manipulate time. So,
well, he's not
I
manipulating
think,
time though. He's
well,
he's allowing all the times to exist at once.
Yeah. Well, but he can also manipulate time though. It's like a power he has now, right? Like he can slipstream at a time, right? Like that's
I
something he
mean,
can do whenever he
you would
wants to
assume so, and also
because it's convenient.
because of the, I mean, Marvel's very good at their color themes, right? And we all
Mm,
know that the color theme of green is time.
yep.
And that's why when you see the world tree, it's all green, and obviously Loki's a green character as well, but
Yep.
that's why he's so related to time and the TVA and like they've really integrated these underlying themes very well, and conceptually
Mm,
it works really well. A lot of people maybe aren't looking at that or don't care or don't pick up on it, and even if you do, even knowing this is like their thing and these colors and whatever, like it doesn't make it good all of a sudden and be like, oh, they're so clever, it makes it amazing. Like it's just
yeah.
they do it well, and like that, like when you see like green like that, it has something to do with time.
Yep.
So, and they do the same
We'll
thing
just
with the
see what
cosmic
happens.
shit and whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens for sure. We're for sure,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
so again, like, I'm not opposed to What If. I think it's cool. Like, I like animation. I like the fight scenes. Again, I was watching the season one again. The fights between Ultron and the Watcher were fucking awesome. Like the melee hand to hand combat just looks so clean for 3D animation. Usually, you don't expect that kind of stuff from 3D animation. So
Yeah.
yeah, like when Thor was partying on Vegas, that episode was great. Like the party's literally consuming the universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
funny because that Thor's the most powerful because he has no self-doubt because like his family and like friends are all there and love him and support him. So he's just like super overpowered because he just like has all this confidence.
yeah. It's very. It reminds me of a comic book I read where Thor loses his worthiness.
Uh-huh.
Um, and this is when Jane Foster first becomes the mighty Thor and picks up the
Yeah.
hammer, and like you just see Thor like just getting fucking sloppy drunk, complaining, like acting like everybody's his therapist, and he's just a drunkard. He's just like, I'm not
Yep.
worthy. And
Yep.
that's what it reminded me of. Is like from like those kind of stories. And a lot of people like this is a problem. Like people who don't read a lot of comics, like they aren't necessarily a fan of like the MCU's Thor because they think they like made him really dumb and shit. But like, bro, like he's kind of like that in a lot of
Yeah, he's
comics.
Thor. He's muscle. He's a muscle man.
Yeah, like oh they
Yep.
made Thor dumb and like a joke and all this shit. And it's like, I mean, sure, like in some runs like of like Avengers comics and shit, like Thor is like this holier than thou god who's just mega powerful, like bruiser, like whatever. But like there's other comics that are more nuanced with Thor, and he's just a drunk dumb fuck who's also incredibly powerful. Like there's different versions of him, and like this thing with everything. Like, bro, I get people. This fucking guy calls me, hey buddy, I've been playing Spider-Man 2. Does Craven kill a bunch of people in comics? Bro,
Yeah.
depends what fucking comics you read. Like,
Well, his name is Craven the Hunter. I assume at some point he would hunt somebody.
yeah, I'm just like, and he's like, does he have cancer in the comics? I'm like, bro, first of all, I don't want spoilers for the game, so sorry for everybody who's spoiling and spoiled. Maybe he has cancer in the game. I don't fucking know, but he asked me that. Like, bro, like, Craven's Last Hunt, he's just an old fuck, and he's like wants to go out with a bang, so he wants to hunt Spider-Man, and he kills a bunch of Spider-Man's villains that Spider-Man struggles to kill. Like, okay, I don't know, I don't know what you're asking me. Just read the fucking comics, bro. Go to fucking Wikipedia and read the fucking summary.
Yep.
Anyway. So anyway, any final thoughts? Any final? Yeah, I know you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go PvP. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, no final thoughts. I think I already said them. Like, I thought the last couple episodes are cool. I thought Kohori was cool, so I think you and I are pretty much in line with this.
yeah,
Uh, yep.
yeah. Corey's fucking sick. I love that. I love her. I think she's a great character. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where her character goes, especially in comics. Like for me, it's tough. I think she's very, very, very powerful, and it's hard to balance that.
Mm.
So like her villains need to be like like she needs to be like literally a hero of the multiverse. Like she can't join the Avengers, bro, because she'll just fucking annihilate everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
she has to be like similar like to a character like the Beyonder and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or I don't know. Like obviously we know how comics work. No matter how powerful you are, your villains will find a way to make you weaker. Blah blah blah. Kryptonian shit. You're right. Kryptonite guys. Like there's always shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing where her future goes. And overall, I would give What If season 2 like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much like six or five.
Yeah.
Not too great, not too bad. Like, there weren't any episodes. Again, I didn't watch the Happy Hogan one, so maybe that would have ruined my score a little bit. But I just looked at the
Okay.
screen. I was like, Happy Hogan saves Christmas, and I was like,
So pretty much,
damn, I really
Happy
don't.
Hogan ruins Christmas. He
Oh,
gets so there's these criminals that are trying to get Hulk's blood out of
mm,
out of the Avengers Tower, and Happy's like sneaking around and shit, and he ends up getting jabbed with Hulk's blood, and he becomes the big purple guy that you see later in 1602. Remember, Happy turned into Big Purple Hulk.
yep.
And so that started with this episode, and so yeah, he gets all big and purple and angry, and then the Avengers think he's evil, so they try to stop him, and they realize it's Happy, and then I don't even think I finished the fucking episode because it wasn't that interesting. But yeah,
Well, yeah, it's a good thing I didn't watch it then. Um, and no episodes I think I watched were straight up bad. The problem is that they were just really boring, and that's not what you want when you're, watching something. So,
yeah, yeah. It's just the concepts aren't that interesting to me. Like, I feel like there's definitely way more interesting concepts,
yeah.
Um, but hey, they got to do their thing. They got to try to integrate everything and have like an overarching arc for the whole season or whatever. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope Cher gets better, feels better.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better today for sure. Hopefully tomorrow, I'm gonna go see if my medicine is in after this PvP event.
Yeah,
And then, everything will be dope.
yeah. But thanks for
Anyway,
everybody here on Twitch watching, TV, obviously in the chat. Much love, friend. There's a heart. Everybody listening to the podcast version, audio anywhere, please subscribe or something.
mm,
Write a review, rate us. It helps, or something. If you're watching
yep,
on YouTube, you can click the like button. You can write a comment and tell us why you hate us. That's fine. People do that all the time. If you, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Much love. Goodbye. Have a good one. Peace out. Bah.
yep.